We're the Mills family and we're in search of simplicity and a new life in Portugal. But first, we're on a quest to take our children to visit as many countries as possible and experience the unique culture each country has to offer en route to a more purposeful and wholesome life in Europe's most western country. This trip has been full of ups and one very frustrating down, with our van breaking down at the most easterly part of our trip. Thankfully, we're back on the road, heading into the wild Adriatic mountains, and things are about to get steep, stunning, and maybe a little scary. Will we have confidence in our van, or should we have taken a more gentle route? Come along and experience the journey with us. If you enjoyed this video, please take a second to give it a thumbs up and consider clicking the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next instalment. As always, this is totally free and it would mean the world to us.
We have got our van back. We've got our van back.
We have got our van back. It's extreme. It's like someone being released from hospital.
Oh gosh, no. It's
no, it's not.
It's not as good as that. But
no, we've got a van back.
It was a really stressful day yesterday. We had to do what I find are two stressful things. One is collect the van, and two was drop off our hire car.
Yeah.
But they both went really smoothly. We were particularly concerned because they were asking for cash to pay for the van, which for us wasn't really not that easy to get in just a few hours.
Yeah.
But we managed to get it all sorted. So we're after 3 weeks. It's probably 3 weeks today, which feels like a long time considering how fast we were moving.
Yeah.
We're finally off to Croatia.
That is the plan. Croatia today.
Yes. I'm a little bit nervous about driving too long with a van.
Exactly.
Because we don't know. We couldn't even speak to the garage people because they didn't speak English. We didn't speak Hungarian.
We did a relatively small drive today to Croatia, just past Zagreb, at a little vineyard on the way down to our next destination after that, which will be Split.
Just a quick overnight stop. Got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this place. It's absolutely stunning. If you're coming to Hungary, 100% come to the Balaton. But
beautiful, yeah.
We've had enough.
Tent box all packed up. We had a nice night in the tent box last night, which went well.
Some of you have been asking how all of us fit in that tent, so we're going to include you here a small clip of how we all five sleep in it. It's quite cozy and very comfortable to me.
It is, yeah, it is comfortable. We're going to get going and
see you in Split.
See you in Split. Good evening, everyone. We have treated ourselves to an Airbnb for a few days, post the
traumatic 4 weeks
stuck in a campsite. So yeah, we thought we'd spend a few days just to sort all of our stuff out and kind of get back up straight. So it's not an expensive one, which is great, but the view is incredible. We're in a place called Portugal, which is about 2 or 3 kilometers down from Split, and Split is the bay here just behind us.
We had a great drive.
Yes.
From the vineyard down here. The cold though, it was 6 degrees, so we stopped a couple of times to give the van a break and some toilet breaks, but it didn't feel nice coming out of the van. It was really cold. We are still a little bit unsure on what we're going to do while we're here. The boat trips look awesome, but they're extremely expensive.
For a family of 5, they gave us a couple of discounts, they said. Worked out about 650 euros. So
we're probably not going to pay those prices. We will be traveling onto a different location in Croatia where the prices look a lot more affordable.
Exactly.
That'll be coming out probably in the next video. And
we've also just had quite a big van bill to fix, as you're probably aware.
For now, we just get to enjoy the view. You might notice that we have a slightly different view today. We'll get into more detail on that in a minute, but for now we're going to talk about our time here in Split.
So we wanted to go to the old town. It looks really pretty. There's some really lovely architecture from the Roman times. It was about a 10-minute drive to car park on the beachfront. Parking was relatively straightforward. It
is October, so
exactly.
If you're here in July, August, don't expect it to be that easy.
But so we parked there. We put about 3 hours, 4 hours on the car. It was around €3, so relatively cheap. And then it was Google Maps told us it's about a 15-minute walk to the old town from where we had parked, We deliberately parked near a bay because we wanted to see what the sea was like. Could we go swimming? I don't know if you and your children, if you have any, have the same things. We have to double that time it takes to get to places because our children like to stop off at any playground they see, any pigeon sat at the side of the road, a funny piece of leaf that has fallen from a tree. So we do a lot of going back and forth. So the kids probably walk twice the distance to get the same distance as myself and Filipa, but they're having fun and they're enjoying themselves, which is the main thing. So we always factor that into our anything really, our drives, our walks. So we made our way to the old town. So from where we parked, we walked all the way to Diocletian's Palace, which is the kind of centre point within the old town. There's a lot of architecture around there. This is like an old Roman emperor's home. There's also a cathedral there. We got to interact with some Roman warriors. They weren't real Romans, they were in dress, but the kids got to interact with them a bit, which was lovely. So then we spent a bit of time within the old town around Diocletian's Palace. We walked down to the Riva waterfront because what we were looking to do was to do a bit more research into boat trips, because we had been online looking at boat trips from Split Harbour, speak to tour providers face to face down at the port, see if there's a better deal that we could do, and unfortunately, it turns out there really wasn't.
There wasn't.
We weren't getting any love from that point of view.
And this was part of the reason why we wanted to move away from Split and spend some time in Croatia away from Split, because we felt like Split is using its popularity to overcharge tourists for attractions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming people will pay for it because they are charging that, but we weren't willing to do that. Because we are travelling for a long period of time, not just a 2-week holiday. After that, we did a bit of Google research into somewhere where we can get kind of authentic lunches from a Croatian point of view, and we found this place called Canton Polina. They serve a traditional Croatian wrap with meat inside. It's called a cevapi. I can't remember what the bread's called. I think it's called Larinja. I might have to put this in the on the screen what it's actually called and how it's pronounced.
It's some delicious bread.
Really soft, really warm. The kind of meat. What are they? They're a bit like kuftas. Kind of like it's their version of a kebab, really. Oh, Christ! Oh, that was a bob. Oh God, I thought it was a wasp.
It's been there for ages.
I've got a balcony with a really big drop down here. That could have been the end of me. It's a bit like a kebab, the wrap, but it was absolutely delicious, lovely filling, a nice red pepper sauce. It had great reviews online, and when we got there, we realised why, because there was a queue coming out the door. So it did take a while. Probably wasn't the best for our vegetarian son or pescatarian son, but we made it work.
You can tell we like food when we talk. We spend more time talking about food than we spend talking about monuments.
Yeah, but food's important. I think everyone loves food.
After a delicious lunch and making sure that the children were all happy to do a little bit more walking, we went back into Old Town.
Hello! Hello!
If you enter it from River Waterfront, you can pretty much walk in a straight line and see a lot of different monuments. You kind of go under a tunnel. As you come out of the tunnel, you climb up some steps onto the vestibule dome. And that was a really nice experience. There was a few gentlemen singing, and the acoustics in there are great.
Incredible, weren't they?
Ella looks really big. Ella!
As you continue then up the road, you'll come across the Golden Gate, and then just after that you'll have Gregory's Inn. I was really fascinated by his story. He's the one who influenced the Pope to introduce Croatian language into
the Catholic sermons within Croatia.
Yeah. So up until that point, the only language that was used was the Latin.
He's what's called an influencer back in the day.
Yes, exactly. So if you do go and see Gregory, make sure to rub his toe for good luck. Also, the legend says. So we all made sure to give him a good toe rub.
We did, yeah. We've had a little bit of bad luck on this trip, so we thought do a good toe rub. So yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, the kids were more than ready to start heading back. Unfortunately, the weather turned. The wind, which we were told by one of the boat tour guys, that was a northerly wind, was extremely cold. We're talking like I had brain freeze. I don't know if it was that bad for you, but I felt really, really cold by the time we got back to the van.
It's just when you're out of the sun and in the wind, and you're walking through alleyways, and it's just racing through. It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. So no swimming for us, unfortunately,
Yep.
which meant we had to tick that box another day, because if you know our family, you know how much we love swimming.
You probably don't know, but for some reason, we're having 3 children, and we have got a lot of toilet breaks. We don't really have it much in the UK, having to pay to go to the toilet, but you do here in Europe, and the toilets are really well maintained, and that's probably a reason why you pay for them. But I think, we probably spent about £4,600 or euros so far on toilet breaks. which as much as I like, I'd rather hold it in than spend €1. But that's just me being a little bit frugal. So I think with this place, when you research Split, what there is to do, there's loads to do. We had plans to get through a lot of stuff, and I think that realisation came pretty quickly that we'd probably tried to pack too much into what we wanted to do. But there's a lot of things to do in Split. You can go to Cliff's Fortress, which is up on the hills, where they filmed quite a big chunk of Game of Thrones. You have the waterfalls in the national park, which is probably about 45 minutes to an hour away. And
It's about an hour and a half.
It was an hour and a half away, okay. And there are also multiple island tours.
And everything looks incredible. So I wanted to do it all. The moment we arrived in Croatia, I said, we need more time here. I want to do everything.
So originally we had 2 full days in Split booked. One was earmarked to go to the old town, and then the other one was to go to the national park. So we woke up early, we were ready to go, and then we actually realised what we really needed was a bit more of a chilled day. The kids needed that as well. So we decided to abandon that idea.
So if you were coming to Split, do take on those suggestions, because we've done a lot of research and we feel like those are the nicest things to do around here.
And I think if you've got 2 weeks here, you can definitely get a lot of those things done.
Oh yeah.
The fact that we are on a slightly shortened time frame with our delay, we needed to make some actual decisions for the family. And that's what we did.
And we need to take time to live. We need to do the things that we would do if we were at home. So put our clothes in to wash, go shopping, cooking. We decided to slow down in Split. But because of that decision, and because I think it was more my influence than Matt's, we decided to stay in Croatia longer. But we'll get into that in the next video, which will also explain the new view behind us.
A new view, and it was actually very, very exciting and slightly daunting getting here.
So day 2 in Croatia. If you know anything about Croatia, you know that it has the most wonderful sea in Europe, the clearest waters, and it was a no-brainer that we had to go and spend a day at the beach at this point because of what Matt mentioned at the start with regards to slowing down and giving the children a break. So we did just that. We had a lazy morning, let the kids sleep until 9 o'clock in the morning, drove down to the seafront, again very easy to park, and we decided to go to Portugal Beach, which was our local beach. Took the paddleboard, the snorkels, and it was wonderful. It was warm enough that we could swim. The water temperature at this moment in time is about 22 degrees, so it's still fairly pleasant.
It's quite ideal this time of the year because obviously it's had all the summer sun and the air temperature drops down, so it actually feels really pleasant being in the water, which was great. Yeah,
the air temperature was about 18, the water temperature was about 22, so it's the ideal conditions to have a very similar temperature.
When we were in Hungary, we got that one day on our paddleboard before we put it back in the van and then lost the van. So getting that back out again, the kids really love the paddleboard, all of them were on it, and myself and Filipa, and it's actually really relaxing, even just on your own, paddling out maybe 100 metres out from shore. We love that.
With clear water, you could see the bottom as well.
You could see the bottom, and it got quite deep, and it was really idyllic, peaceful. The sea was very calm.
The beach was very quiet.
Yeah, and it was perfect.
We feel like the children are still learning new skills, like by paddleboarding, for example. So Daniel did a lot of practicing on turning and snorkeling. Not many 6-year-olds know how to snorkel.
No.
So yeah, we see it as they're learning very valuable skills.
I think this is what we needed. We needed that chill out on the beach, soak up some sun, feel like we're on holiday stroke travelling again, and the kids loved it. They were all playing really well together, and it was brilliant.
Just like that, in a whole big patch, and we can put the bucket under, they might not realise, then we lift it up and there'll be loads of fishies.
Yeah.
Fishy.
Just around the corner there was a load of small food huts, and we decided to stay on the same theme and not cook dinner that day and just have.
And it was actually very reasonably priced. It was a lovely last night of our time in Split.
Now you might be wondering what's happening to our van life and our tent life, and about how excited we were to have our van back. Yet we go to an Airbnb. After spending a lot of time researching, unfortunately, it appears in Croatia getting an Airbnb in October is just as expensive as going to a campsite. And we had been sleeping on the floor for just under 4 weeks, so we thought we'd treat ourselves to a nice Airbnb.
And for this reason is why we are spending a couple of days recharging in a home, so we take care of other things that we need to sort out with the van as well. Ready for our next camping trip, which we will be back in the tent.
Yeah,
so,
I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you very much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please consider it. It is absolutely free, and you can click the notification button to get notified of our next video, and we would really, really appreciate that. So thank you for coming along with us on this video. We're hoping we are cutting the dramas out now a little bit. That's the plan.
And if you enjoy that and you'd like to watch our full Europe trip, we will add the playlist here. Thank you for watching. Beijinhos.
Thank you. Bye bye.